Hi everyone, it's Sonia here. So they have started rolling out the COVID-19 vaccine in the UK, and already they have found some unexpected problems. Also in America, they're still trying to figure out how to get everybody, or as many people as possible, to take the shot, and they've come up with the idea that maybe they should give them stimulus checks. And aside from that, I have some new information for you about the COVID vaccine and the trials. Plus, guess what? My mother's first on the list. She's probably going to get the shot next week. So I'm going to give you a lowdown on all that. Before I start, I just want to let you know 2020 has been rough on everyone, and C60 EVO is a great way to move forward. Boost your immune system, enhance your mental clarity, and regain flexibility with ease. The new C60 Advanced Anti-Aging Facial Serum is a great gift, especially along with a bottle of C60 EVO. I have told you many times that this has fixed my sleep problems. I suffered from all kinds of sleep issues for many, many years, and I'm here to tell you it's still working. And not only that, but the company also sent me a sample of this. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not wearing makeup. Lucky for me, my skin's pretty good to begin with, because I've been using this lately. I've been using this for like the last month, and my pores have literally shrunk in size. I think it looks pretty good for 50. I mean 49 point whatever, 49.8. So I'm here to tell you, I tried it out and I really love it. Maybe there's somebody you know who would like to get one of these for Christmas. So if you're interested, get special offers and discounts with the link below and help support my channel. Okay guys, I'm gonna give you the rundown now. First of all, I think you would be interested to see this. This is the full information from the vaccine trials from Pfizer, including how they figured that it gives immunity, and including exactly what kind of people received it, in what doses, and what were the effects and side effects. So yes, the clinical data is out if you care to peruse it. It's here, I'll give you the link. Now here's something that they did not see coming. 2 British healthcare workers who got the vaccine on Tuesday have had allergic reactions. The British regulators are warning people who have severe allergies not to get the vaccine yet as a precaution. Well, they say that 137 of the 20,000 people who got the vaccine had allergic reactions, but 111 people among the 20,000 who were given placebo also had allergic reactions, which made scientists dismiss it. So if they see something, some kind of adverse event happening in both groups, they're likely to dismiss it because they say, well, these people had it, but so did those people, and they didn't have the vaccine. But in this case, it turned out that the extra 26 people represented a real increase in anaphylactic reactions. 4 people in a US study of the Pfizer vaccine also got Bell's palsy, which is facial paralysis. All 4 were in the vaccine group, and there were no cases of Bell's palsy in the placebo group. But UK regulators are saying it's nothing to worry about. This is a normal amount of Bell's palsy, consistent with the trend in a random population. But even the regular expected side effects are brutal. Doctors keep telling the government, you gotta warn the people what they're in for. A nurse in the UK trial suffered a nearly 105-degree fever after taking her vaccine. Well, she said something like, worst fever of my life it was. I thought I had the COVID-19. So yeah, heads up. And don't think you can just drink your way through this mess. Russian health authorities are telling vaccine recipients no vodka for 2 months after vaccine. The intake of alcohol needs to stop at least 2 weeks prior to immunization. Suka biad. Recipients should then abstain from alcohol for 42 days after the first injection. Well, good luck with that, considering Russia is one of the world's heaviest drinking countries. I think they know this is a losing battle, because soon after, they said, okay, 6 days enough for Russia's coronavirus vaccine. As if 2020 hasn't been bad enough, we've been stripped of all our rights and freedoms, and now we're not even allowed to drink anymore. So just a reminder, the WHO is warning that COVID vaccines are not enough to stop the virus. Pretty much everyone's going to have to keep wearing those masks and doing the distancing, which really sucks. I think a lot of people think that once they roll this out, life's going to go back to normal, but if you've been paying attention, you know that that's not the case. And that has a lot to do with the fact that the CEO of Pfizer himself admits he's not certain whether COVID vaccine stops transmission. It's only been proven to reduce incidence of clinical disease and now also severe disease. But there's no proof that there weren't a whole bunch of asymptomatic people in the study, and there's no proof that those asymptomatic people couldn't then transmit it to other people. So Theresa Tam told us this months and months ago. She said, even with vaccines, we'll be wearing masks and doing distancing for years. I don't really want to think about it. In the meantime, also, we've been told that if you don't take the vaccine, you could lose access to a normal life. In Canada, you know, where our charter says we don't have to take vaccines, they're doing some doublespeak around here. The chief medical officer, Dr. Williams, now says, what may be mandatory is proof of vaccination in order to have latitude and freedom to move around without wearing personal protective equipment. So much doublespeak and so much stuff here that doesn't make sense. So the vaccine itself is not mandatory, but what's mandatory is the proof that you've had it. To move around without wearing PPE. Our health minister of the entire country just told us that you're still going to have to wear a mask even if you've had the vaccine. So everybody has to wear a mask, but if you didn't get the vaccine, you have to wear a mask like everybody else. So that doesn't make any sense. What they've been saying is that in Ontario, if you don't get it and get the card, because now they have cards, they're going to have these cards in the US too, then there are things you might not be able to do. Like go to the movies, go to a restaurant. I don't know about taking public transit. Basically a whole bunch of things. The airlines who said, originally we were worried the airlines would make it mandatory. Now the airlines are saying that they might not want to do that because if half the people don't take it, then they're going to lose half their business. But we keep getting told there's a whole lot of stuff you won't be able to do if you don't take it. And so to me that is mandatory. I mean, how do you define mandatory? Being taken physically and having it given to you by force? I thought mandatory meant that if you don't have it, you can't do stuff. That is mandatory. So that makes no sense. Saying it's not mandatory, but if you don't have it, you can't do stuff. Unless you have proof that you had it. That's mandatory vaccination. Do they think we're stupid? Why are they talking to us like this? Okay, that's Ontario. But it may not be like that everywhere. In the US, they've come out with this brilliant idea. Like, why don't we just bribe people? $1,500 stimulus check for COVID-19 vaccine. Well, that's a deal maker right there. Well, I wasn't going to get the vaccine, but now that you offered me $1,500, sign me up. So a former House representative, John Delaney, says that Americans should be paid to receive the coronavirus vaccine in a bid to encourage more people in the US to get the shot. So there are a couple of problems with this. A lot of people are going to think it's not fair because the way they're going to roll out the vaccine, which is in limited supply, certain people are going to be able to get it and others are not. So there could be a lot of people that would say, well, hey, I would get it, but I can't. So, you know, that's not fair because I want my money. So how come I don't get to get the money? Because I couldn't take it through no fault of my own. And the other thing is, for the people who really, really, really don't want it, this kind of an offer would appeal to poor people, but not rich people. If you got some rich person who really doesn't want it, $1,500 is not going to do it because they probably have a lot more than that in the bank already. But apparently this whole idea of trying to figure out how to convince people to do things, including take vaccines, is like a whole scientific thing. There is this study here on clinicaltrials.gov, COVID-19 vaccine messaging, where they had 12 arms of a study, and what they did was they gave these 12 arms different messages. Well, there's the baseline message, which I think they all get, and then there's the control arm, which gets a message about bird feeding, and then you have the experimental arms, which get different kinds of messages, which include like basically all kinds of guilt trips, and like assaults to your ego. At 3 to 6 months after the vaccine becomes available, they're going to check in with these people and see which groups had the higher vaccination rates. So it's like a little sort of mind manipulation experiment here. So you got the personal freedom message, a message about how it's limiting, COVID-19 is limiting people's personal freedom. And by working together to get enough people vaccinated, society can preserve its personal freedom. That's a message that's really actually been out in the media too. Economic freedom message. Same idea, but it's limiting people's economic freedom. And when we all get vaccinated, our society can preserve its economic freedom. Self-interest message. A message that COVID-19 presents a real danger to one's health, even if one is young and healthy. Getting vaccinated against COVID-19 is the best way to prevent oneself from getting sick. That is definitely being put out there in the media all day, every day anyway. You should be scared because you really don't know. You think you're okay, but maybe you're going to get really sick. Community interest message. The more people who get vaccinated against COVID-19, the lower the risk that one's loved ones will get sick. Society must work together and all get vaccinated. Economic benefit message. A message about how COVID-19 is wreaking havoc on the economy and the only way to strengthen the economy is to work together to get enough people vaccinated. Sounds like kind of communist mentality there. Do it for the country, do it for the economy. I don't know if that's going to do it. Guilt message. A message about the danger of COVID-19 to the health of one's family and community. The best way to protect them is by getting vaccinated, and society must work together to get enough people vaccinated. Then it asks the participant to imagine the guilt they will feel if they don't get vaccinated and spread the disease. Which actually right now, as I mentioned before, there isn't any proof that getting vaccinated protects other people. But anyway, embarrassment message. It asks the participant to imagine the embarrassment they will feel if they don't get vaccinated and spread the disease. Imagine, what will the neighbor say? There goes Shirley. She's a super spreader. Anger message. It then asks the participant to imagine the anger they will feel if they don't get vaccinated and spread the disease. I really don't understand this one. Like, who are they supposed to be angry at? Themselves? Imagine how much you will hate yourself. Trust in science message. Vaccination is backed by science. If one doesn't get vaccinated, that means that one doesn't understand how infections are spread or who ignores science. Wait, there's some bad grammar in there, but cut them some slack. These are science people, not grammar people. One doesn't understand how infections are spread or one ignores science. If you don't get vaccinated, you're anti-science, and that means you're stupid. Oh yeah. Not bravery message. This message describes how firefighters, doctors, and frontline medical workers are brave. Those who choose not to get vaccinated against COVID-19 are not brave. So wait, you're brave if you choose to get the vaccine? Wouldn't that imply that the vaccine is scary and poses some kind of a risk? It makes no sense. But to me, it seems like, the best reason to get a vaccine is that you actually need it. And it is actually safe and effective. Like, for example, if you get bitten by a rabid dog, probably going to get rabies, in which case, 100%, you're dead. You just have to get told, like, this vaccine is going to save your life. Take it, and you won't die. It's pretty straightforward. You don't have to have a study like this to figure out how to get people to take a rabies vaccine. Imagine how embarrassed you would be if it turned out you came down with rabies and then you were going to die. Imagine how angry you would be. Probably those things are very true. Especially, oh my God, I can only imagine anger. It's so stupid. Why didn't I take the shot? But they don't have to do that for rabies vaccine because rabies is deadly and the shot works. End of story. End of study. Anyway, this is something that they do. There's like I said, there's a whole science to it. Science of getting people to do stuff. And that will include healthcare workers because as it stands, some of them are wary of getting the COVID-19 vaccine. I told you in my last video, it was healthcare workers who were the impetus behind the conservative-backed petition up here in Canada. Conservative Party put out a petition to the government asking that the vaccine remain voluntary, meaning they are putting out a petition asking that our Charter of Rights and Freedoms is respected. But in any case, it was because of the concerns of healthcare workers. So I don't know how they're going to convince those healthcare workers. I don't think the whole, you're anti-science, and that means you're stupid. I don't think that's going to cut it. In Quebec now, they're rolling it out. I mentioned my mother is actually going to be first on the list. She's going to be in the first people that are going to get it. I don't know, as it so happens. What they decided to do was first vaccinate people in public nursing homes, and then the healthcare staff, and then people in private homes. And she's in a public one. And as it so happens, hers is part of a group of nursing homes that is the very, very first on the list. Like literally, she's going to be getting it this week or next week. I mean, look, my mother already had COVID. So it seems weird to me that they would vaccinate someone who already had it, especially someone who had it and even at 85 didn't have a lot of issues with it. I'm not her guardian, so actually the decision of her getting the vaccine has nothing to do with me. But I did not make any issue of it when her guardian decided that. I was like, okay, it's fine. Because, I mean, to me, the main concerns would be very long-term effects, and honestly, my mom's probably not going to be around long enough to get those effects. While she was still of sound mind, she chose her guardian to act as her representative for her wishes. She chose him to take over when she would no longer be able to manage her life. So his wishes represent her wishes. She wanted him to make decisions for her, and this is the decision he has made. And I respect that that's what she wanted. So then it's going to be people in their 80s and then 70s, then people in their 60s with risk factors and then without, and then it's going to be people under 60 with risk factors and then without. So actually the general population under 60 without risk factors is like almost last on the list. Children are not even on the schedule, and pregnant women are not going to be vaccinated. So basically the general population is last on the list. So anyway, there's the lowdown. I hope you found this information useful. Also, I just want to let you know that after my mom gets her vaccine, I will be your man on the ground reporting on how that turns out. You can count on me for that. So that's it. I hope you find this information interesting and useful. And thanks for joining me in the chat. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to give me a like. And please don't forget to check out the link for the C60 EVO products. Thank you also for supporting my channel on Patreon, which keeps my channel going. So thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. God bless you. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.